Hello, boys and girls of YouTube. Well, finally made it to the playfield. So, here we are gonna start doing that and give you a good look. Now, in previous video, I kind of mentioned a couple interesting things about the playfield. One, this roulette wheel. It's not the first one ever that's had a roulette wheel sunken into or a wheel or device underneath the playfield, but it is one of the first. Not the first, but one of the firsts. Another interesting thing is, where the ball drains, it's got a pop bumper. That's kind of interesting. Again, it's been done. I don't know if this was the first one, but it's been done. Another interesting tidbit. It's got a gate. So when you do the right things, you can open up the gate. And it also has a ball return. On this side, it'll actually push the ball out. So those four things make it kind of interesting for an older game. It's definitely not the most popular ever, but like I had mentioned, they made over 5,000 of these units, which was actually back in the day a pretty good number. So as you can see, the playfield's definitely seen better days. But we're gonna work on that. We're gonna got a couple ideas. Obviously, repainting is obviously one of the ideas, but see what happens. See how this goes. But I do want to show you one interesting thing under the playfield. So I'm actually gonna stop this so I can lift up the playfield and show you underneath. So be right back. All right, here we are underneath. I mean, overall, it's not too bad, but I did notice one thing right away. If you can kind of see it, that big old black spot right there. Seems like something got hot. Now, when I looked at it, I don't think it is that recent, even though I think they may not have fixed it, because this bulb, how black this is, that bulb pretty much would have been black. And then there's a couple other areas, and one on this side, if I can see that. Oh, yeah, right there. And you can see how that one's not black, but if you kind of look past that bulb, there's a rollover target that, man, got charred. Still seems to work on the playfield. Didn't melt the plastic. Seems to be functioning appropriately. So other than just being a little black on the back end, seems okay. But all right. So once again, we've got a stepper unit that I think has a bad coil. Let me show you that coil too. If I can show you that. See that one with the brown paper on it? Now, either that's the culprit and they never replaced it, or that's what they replaced it with. But I think that's the one that had an issue. But the rest, again, other than being a little dirty, these look okay. Again, when we'll plug it in, we'll see what else needs to be replaced, fixed, adjusted. But like everything else, we're gonna clean the switches. There's quite a few of them back here. Clean the stepper unit. I think I finally said that right. I kept calling it a stepper motor, but it's a stepper unit. The four, they call them jet bumpers. I think Williams, the pop bumpers. When I looked on the playfield, there's three in the back, one that I pointed out in the drain. They all seem to be a little cracked, so I'll probably get replacements of those. I do believe this works. I think when they turned it on to show me that it at least turned on, I thought I saw that kind of reset or heard it reset or I don't know, but we'll take a look at that. Basically, that's what this stepper unit is for. So part of this at least does something, meaning hopefully the motor at least spins. And that's half the battle because I did look for parts for this and did not see a replacement motor available. But if we have to do anything, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But this is it. So I'm gonna call it. We're in the home stretch, but definitely not there yet. Home stretch meaning everything be cleaned and looked over and hopefully adjusted appropriately so at least I can turn it on and then see what's really wrong with this thing. All right, folks. I'll talk to you later. Bye. All right. Just to give you a quick update. Cleaned all the switches. I'm now down to taking apart the stepper motor. Just took a couple C-clips and nuts off at the moment, working on taking the springs off. Then I think I got to get those switches out of the way. And once I do that, clean up all the contacts on this side, put it back together, and that's where we're at. The parts I ordered for the score reel, hopefully they'll be here today. If they are, I will put them in and maybe, if it's not too late, actually try to test this out and see what else I missed or have to fix or how many bulbs are out or whatever the case might be. So that's the update. Talk to you soon. Alright, well, I'm at a point where I actually got some replacement parts. So if you can see on the right, this score reel, the coil has seen better days, so I've soldered in the new one. It's also had a broken piece inside. I got to take the wheel apart and put that piece back in there. When I get to that step, I'll show you. So let me put this back together and get that piece in, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, this is the part I was referring to. As you can see, when I turn it over, it is broke as it just rolls away. See? So I had to get a replacement part. I have no idea how this thing could have broken. I mean, it's pretty substantial piece of metal, but luckily, from some good videos out there, I found this company called Marco that sells replacement parts for pretty much a lot of pinball machines. There's a lot of places out there, but this is the one everybody seems to go to, and they had all the pieces. Now the only thing I can think of is that these roll pins might have came off of this thing, and it does move pretty good, so maybe it worked its way out, it got jammed and broke, because all the other pieces like this in the machine are white. So this is definitely a replacement one. I guess they didn't realize that this was broke when they put it in, but who knows, or it did work, or they rigged it, who knows. But either way, I got the replacement part, so I'm going to put it together and put it back in the machine. So when I'm done with that, I'll show you that. Alright, well, I got that roll pin in. It was actually a little bit of a pain in the neck, but it's in. So now I'll put it back in the machine and put it all back together. Well, score reel anyway. Alright. Alright, well, here's the coil that came out. Now, basically what should happen is that if I put this broken piece in, it should fall all the way through. It won't. So this thing I think it got pretty toasty. And I mean, I can't even get the what is it? I forget this piece that's called in there, but this is supposed to come out the sleeve, I think. That's supposed to come out. I can't even get that out. So I'm pretty sure this thing got pretty melted. And definitely, like I said, if not, probably wasn't the issue. Well, it probably wasn't the issue, but it was definitely part of the issue without a doubt. So again, I don't know why this would have fried, but I did see a fuse too that was blown. I forgot to show you that, but I didn't look in the schematics yet to see which fuse that was for, but yeah. So continuing, getting close to trying to start this. I've got one stepper reel to go, and then once I do that, final look over and plug it in and turn it on and see what happens. Alright folks, till then. Forgot to show you with the coil back on there, the new coil. So basically it was easy. This backing plate just has 2 screws that holds it on. Comes right off. Got the solder these 2 wires on, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And that was it. Put it back together. Alright, making progress. Talk to you in a little bit. Alright folks, I kind of told you I had one more stepper unit to clean up and put new springs on. Well, as I'm doing that, hopefully I can put this light where you can see it, and maybe not. Well, anyway, let's see if I can put it right there. I found this wire just sitting there, so it looked like it was on, but when I touched it, it was actually off. So I'm going to solder that back up, and then the one on the end right here looks, I mean, just barely hanging in there with a maybe like 1 or 2 little strands of wire. So actually they all look a little, but that one at the end looks the worst. So I'm gonna put a little solder on that and go from there. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, well, I think I'm all done actually. Be very interesting because we're going to plug this thing in right now and, well, see if it blows up. Excuse some of the movement in the shadows. Hopefully this thing is not in the on position as I'm plugging it in. And if we blow a fuse, all the power goes in the house off. We'll know what's going wrong. Alright, must be in the off position or it's not working. Let's try to turn this thing on. I'm going to find the switch. Oh, it's around here somewhere. Alright, well, might not be working. Ain't that something? Alright, well, let's try a different plug here. Maybe that one plug ain't working. I think we're not doing well here. Alright. Ain't that something? Nothing. What if that socket's bad? Let's make an assumption. Excuse all the moving. Should have actually put this stationary. Huh. Let's try plug I know works. Let's see what happens. Yep. Alright folks, excuse me, I can't do this with one hand. Huh. Interesting. Yep. Well, something ain't working. Ain't that something? Wonder what? Huh. I lied. It turned on. Holy cow. You know there's no ball in it. I hear a hum, which is never necessarily a good thing. But threw a ball in it. Yep. It's definitely not doing what it should be doing, but it turned on. How the heck you like that? And I hear a big hum. Yeah, let's turn it off and see what's up here. Well, it's on. Something's not right though, clearly. I don't hear anything. Alright, well, let's turn this off and go from there. Alright, all. Well, here's the moment of truth. Alright, we got it light up. But, that looks like it. Honestly, I believe the reset coil has some kind of issue. Either power isn't going to it or something. Here, let me show you that. Hang on a second. Alright, let me show you what I got. Turn it on. Power it up. And let's see if it's this one. See? Definitely not resetting. So turn it off. Alright, so definitely the coil for the reset is got an issue, which even if you trigger that separately, I've got a couple things that won't reset. So we'll work on figuring out why the coil is not engaging to engage the relays or switches or whatever at this point. Alright, so that's where I'm at. Off to the schematic. See if I can figure out what wire goes where to at least start that process. Alright, I'll be back. Actually, you know what? Let me start by stopping this one. So let me stop and publish this out to the world. So, because basically that phase is done, meaning the cleaning and first glance and see where we're at. One good thing is the repairs I did didn't seem to make the thing blow up, so or smoke or have any issues. So at least that seems to be, I'm going to say, everything in place the way it should. So those are at least a plus. So one step in the right direction. Now, figuring out what's up in phases. First, trying to get this thing to reset. So, all right. So, part 4 is ending now. Part 5 is coming up, and me going through all schematics and that stuff. So stay tuned for that. Talk to you then.